All right, man. This is Mr. 13 here. We're doing Ep.2 of the Sitdown, and I'm excited to introduce one of my business partners. This gentleman here is the creator of a successful show named the Vandal Hour. He is also one of the founders of SStreet Media. Joining us for Ep.2 of the Sitdown is Mathematics. Man, what's up? What's up? How you doing?
Peace to the God. How you doing, man?
I'm chilling. I'm good, man. How's your day been?
Hey, busy. Always grinding.
I hear you. I hear you, man. So, just to give the listeners a quick background of your history, tell us exactly what inspired you to get into the field of media.
Media wise, 5 years ago, I came to DTF by mistake, which is another podcast station. I came there by mistake. Was interviewed by someone. Someone liked how I spoke at DTF, told me I should get into podcasting and radio. And that's how I actually like entered into media in this form. But I always I wrote for my school newspaper. I'm a published writer um before me doing podcasting.
Okay, all right. So your first break into media was at this show at DTF Radio.
Yeah, it was a show called the Lyrically Live Show with Choice of New York. Shout out to Choice, New York, for giving me a chance to be a part of her show.
Shout out to Choice. I know her very well. She had the show before the Cypher show at 7 to 9 slot with Just Hayes. It was definitely a good working relationship. Shout out to her and Just Hayes and all the team. But
That's a fact.
besides that, for people who may know, I was one of the hosts on this show that you created, and
For like
I
two
want to
years.
know, how did you come up with the idea of creating the Vandal Hour?
Hey man, funny shit. I started working at DTF as a manager about 3 months after me meeting Choice. Approximately 3 months later. Me being there, I seen everybody doing shows and shit, and I'm like, I think I could do this shit. I'm a I'm a person who like to analyze stuff, break it down, figure it out. So I seen everybody doing their shit, and I'm like, I'm a writer. I always been into like, creative things. I said, I think I could do this. So I came up with a concept. I wrote out this whole layout, this blueprint. The name of the show was supposed to be on I forgot what it was. Matter of fact, it was supposed to be Mixie Life.
Okay.
Because I was selling weed brownies at the time, which was called Mixie Bars.
Okay.
So
That.
he's gonna name it Mixie Life. So when I gave my proposal to Mark DTF, shout out to Mark, when I gave the brother my proposal, this 3-page, 2-page proposal, he shot the shit down, kinda. And the one segment on it that he thought that was something was the Vandal Hour. And
Gotcha.
he said, I think you should fuck with that Vandal Hour shit. I'm like, nigga, did you see the whole other show? I don't want to do no graffiti show, nigga. Like, that shit was going to be like once every 3 months. He
Yeah.
like, I think you should do it, man. I'm like, all right. I said, how long do I get? He like, an hour. I'm like, yo, my other show was 2 hours, man. I can't do what I'm trying to do in an hour. He like, yo, you get an hour, man. And I went back to my partner at the time, which was my man Guess, and Guess was like, yo, you lucky he didn't just shoot your whole shit down.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity. So I said, fuck it, you right. So he said, what you gonna do, man? I said, get me a script for like a television show. So he got me a script. I kind of like made a radio show based on a television show like The View or Conan O'Brien or something like that. So that's what basically the Vandal I was based on is like The View or Conan O'Brien.
Got you. Got you. But look at that. The show turned out to be a huge success. A lot of viewers. I could probably say that it's the number one graph show on the internet at this point in time. And
That's a fact, man. Let me just say this. 3 months later, we was already being written about in like graph circles and blogs already. 6 months later, we was coming out in magazines, and New York One was calling us when a graffiti writer died. A
Right.
year later, we was we was we was like really big. It was like a real underground hit, man. It garnished a lot of views. We interviewed a lot of dope people, and it became an entity of itself.
Yeah, we're talking about interviewing a lot of dope people. Who were some of the most notable guests that you had on the show?
Oh man, I'm gonna say one of my favorite guests, and I would say one of the more notable ones was Geechee Suede of Campolo.
Okay.
Um, he killed a freestyle too. If you never seen that, go to DTF Radio to check out the Vandal album on YouTube, and you can see that episode. But also we had Jerobi of Tribe Called Quest, Pudgy the Fat Bastard, um, Nems FYL, Math Hoffa, um, D Chambers, Cover COD, who becomes a business partner of mine later.
Yeah.
What you call it? Graffiti writer wise, we then had Cope, Chino, BYI, Python, Cess, STEM, Noxer, um, JD, so many people.
Yeah, I was there for that Cope interview. It was very controversial. Let you
Very.
know, my DM was being filled up with messages for weeks on end.
The Vandal Hour too. The Vandal Hour too. You know, we not as the Vandal Hour, I think what makes it a dope show is we're not my graph politics is not involved in the show. Um I write graffiti also, or formerly wrote graffiti, and I don't put my politics into what I present. Basically, people I done had beef with in the past has been on the show. So I don't take no sides. It's just presenting the story of a person who usually won't you won't see or hear of if it wasn't for the Vandal Hour.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, no, I definitely know for a fact that there were a few heads on there that people, were wondering why they were there based on situations, but we never let the politics of the streets get involved with it. So
That's a
I
fact.
understand that. Besides that, what were some of the challenges you had to overcome to maintain such a successful show for so many years?
I still got to maintain the challenges. Challenges evolve. What was a challenge in the beginning may not be a challenge now. So there's always going to be a challenge. One of the main challenges was actually keeping the original cast together. Was I would say would be one of the major challenges of the Vandal Hour. You had when we started the Vandal Hour, most of us was in the street literally. You know what I mean? Most of us was illegal people. You know what I mean? Or didn't have no jobs and shit like that. And by the
Yeah,
time the Vandal Hour hit, it's going on 6 years. Dudes done got jobs, dudes done lives done changed and stuff like that. So the the what kept us together changed. So it's always been a hard process of keeping that original cast. So it's not like Saturday Night Live. I made it so it wasn't based on no one person. It was able to be hosted by a slew of people. We had over 10 hosts. A lot of people
yeah,
can't even say that. We had over 10 hosts. And now I'm the host now. And I'm the person who didn't want to be on camera. So it doesn't evolve. It's like Saturday Night Live. Whoever is around and I could get to host,
yeah.
that's who hosts. You know what I mean?
I understand that, man. Look at me where I'm at. I never wanted to be in front of the camera, but here we are today. We're both making sure these ships stay afloat.
That's a
Sometimes
fact.
you got to play that role when it comes to it.
That's a
And I
fact.
definitely understand that, man, for sure. So besides the Vandal Hour, I know you also started a media outlet with your partner called SStreet Media.
Sosa,
Sosa,
yes.
shout out to Sosa. How did you guys come up with the idea to create your own media outlet?
All right. After the Vandal Hour, as I said, the Vandal Hour became very. Um, it's a. We have a hardcore underground following. Like when I mean like the Vandal Hour is at 14.4 thousand followers on Instagram. It grows every week. No matter if you did something or didn't do something, it's like that. Um, so the popularity of the Vandal Hour got so big that I wanted I wanted to like expand the brand. I wanted to go into other things besides graffiti. Graffiti kind of pigeonholed us to a certain degree. So the next move was Respect the DJ with DJ Swift, which I started with Sosa and DJ Swift. That was a DJ show. I also started another show called Art School, which was with one of the hosts of the Vandal Hour, Mathematics. That was kind of a like a art version of the Vandal Hour. I would say the Vandal Hour little brother. And then I started there's a lot of other shows, man. But so when we started these shows, we wanted to give a home to these shows. So that's how SStreet Media came into play. We wanted, we started expanding on the brand, and we felt that we started something different outside of what DTF was doing. We started our own little movement. So we wanted to give a home to what the ideas that we was doing, and the home became SStreet Media, which stands for Skull Street Media, which is the block I come from in Williamsburg. And that's how that kind of started, man.
I got you. Now, when somebody logs into SStreet Media's website, what can they expect to find?
I'm gonna say this, man. The I'm and SStreet Media's um motto or mantra is the evolution of media is us. And I always believed in learning new apps, new tools to do media. I feel that media is constantly evolving. It's not just radio and television no more. So, the website is kind of one of the forms of or platforms created where you can find out information about what we're doing. So we have sstreetmedia.info and we have sstreetmedia.net, which is the newer one. And both of them just gave a platform for where you could, outside of social media, where you could follow us on. Media has so many platforms, and you got to attack all the platforms. No one platform is is enough. You need a slew of platforms because it's constantly evolving.
Got you. So what shows do you currently have on your network that people are really gravitating towards?
All right. I'm gonna say this. I have 17 shows. We done had up to 30 shows. Um, I'm gonna say this. All the shows are strong shows. The shows that I feel the the shows that I feel are are, that are able to contest or compete with anything that's out there right now. I'm gonna say Sanya on Air is one of our strong. She's official. What she's coming with is real journalism, and I respect her. Sanya on Air. Soon as have a show, Soon as Allah, which is the person who used to be an editor at the Source, who is on your show also. Soon as,
Shout out to
um,
Suez. Very
shout out
enlightening.
to the guard Soonaz. He has a show called A Power Right, which I think that he could contest with any hip hop show that's out there right now. He could contest. He could compete with Elliot and he could compete with Drink Champs. He could compete with Talib Kweli podcast. Is that strong. Besides that, the House of Hip Hop is one of our strong shows too. The reason why I feel that it's a strong show, shout out to Spicy Sugar, is that She loves what she does. And I don't think that you could do, there's no business that you're gonna do and be successful at that you don't love. If you don't love it, and it's just a vehicle for you to just ride in, it's gonna be mediocre. But when you love something, you're gonna give it your all. And I feel that Spicy Sugar is one of the people that gives it her all. Black Raspberry Radio also is a strong one. And the Fuck Out of Here show with Stuck B and Dunny Brown. I would say those are like my forefront of S Street Media.
Definitely, definitely. Shout out to Stuck B and Dunny Brown. We're on this on the final episode of Decipher. The final episode, hopefully not the final episode, but we'll see how that
Season
develops.
wise.
Yeah, season wise. So let's say someone was interested in getting onto your network. What's something that they would need to do to accomplish that goal?
We are located at 1639 Century Street, and that's Centre Street in Ridgewood, Queens. What they need to do is they could follow us on S Street Media on Instagram. They could follow us S Street Media on Facebook, and they could DM us. You know, I'm always looking to work with creative people. I'm a creative person, and I like dealing with creative people. If you're a creative person, um, you know, I definitely think that we'll probably vibe great with. We'll vibe great together.
Got you. Now, when you're looking at some of these shows and you're analyzing them, what do you think makes up a successful show?
Um, Purely my opinion. A successful show to me is a tight show. And when I describe tight, I mean the host is hosting correctly. The host, is transitioning well. The host is prepared and 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 have done research. Um, Also, the topics is not mundane, something that everyone is doing. You got to have a niche when you're doing these type of shows. So I think that having a niche or a niche is very important. But you got to care about your show. Most of these people, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They don't advertise their show. They're not prepared. It's pretty much a gathering. It's not a show. It's a gathering. When I judge shows, I'm thinking about, can I be on television? Can I be on the radio? If they don't fall into that category, it's trash me.
No, I definitely feel you. I definitely have been a part of this for a while, and a lot of times, not knocking any stations or anything, but when you go to these places, you see that it's more of a hangout situation. People are drinking and smoking, and not really a professional environment. And not that saying that
No,
drinking and smoking can take away from that, but it's the people are not focused, and I definitely hear where you're coming from with that. For me,
I
I
think
think.
I
Go ahead.
say my bad for cutting you off. Say what you say. No,
No,
I
no,
said my bad for cutting you off.
no, it's cool. Go ahead. I was
I'm
done.
just This is what it is. It's just like rap. There's a lot of people doing this. Podcasting is the new rap. Is everybody who didn't make it as a rapper or in whatever industry they was trying to attack, they're podcasting now. So it's flooded. It's flooded. So how do you separate yourself from what's going on with everybody else? You know what I mean? How do you separate yourself? I'm gonna say this: most of these people won't last 3 months. I guarantee it. I have the eye of the tiger. Three months or less, the average podcast exists. So the person who you see doing it 2 years, 3 years, those are definitely um, people who's serious about what they're
Yeah,
doing.
well, I take this thing very seriously, as I know you do. Um, for me, it's important, but for you, I wanted to ask you, is how important do you think it is for people like us to own and operate our own independent media outlets?
This crisis that's happening right now is proof that the independent media company is needed. The reason why I say that is most of the big media companies are government controlled. They are fed information and they all network that information amongst themselves. They have complete control over the media outlet that normal people see, like the average viewer. So they could feed you whatever they want to feed you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? If they saying that today is going to rain, and they all saying today is going to rain, and the reality is they don't know. The people is going to go outside with umbrellas. You know what I mean? But if you have an independent source, it's like you going to the doctor and only taking, and the doctor says you have a disease and you only take one doctor's opinion. You're supposed to get multiple opinions. So independent media gives you a chance to have independent opinions besides mainstream media.
yeah. They say that all media is owned by like three companies, which all lead up. Then those three companies lead up to one.
That's a
And
fact, and that's radio and television and music and the written word, periodicals, everything.
yeah, everything. I was watching a documentary. I didn't get to finish it. It was called Out of the Shadows on YouTube, and it basically talks about how the government and the CIA are heavily involved in Hollywood, and they use it for propaganda.
You got to watch Bullworth. But here's a ill one for you. This is it's kind of little off topic, but on topic. Um, on my Instagram, I've been talking kind of political lately, right? Kind of, giving my opinion. And recently, my shit never go through this, but my shit has been being I can't upload certain stuff no more. Like if it's some political stuff, I'm having problems uploading it. But if it's some Yankee Doodle Dandy bullshit, I have no problem uploading it. Here's another one. I've been getting people who's been requesting me. Nobody requests me because I'm unknown. I don't. If you ain't my friend, you ain't following me. Or I didn't meet you in real life and we didn't connect, you ain't following me. So I'm getting now these requests from from Muslim people. And I'm assuming, why these Muslim people is coming to my page, um, wanting to be on my page. So I'm assuming that it's governmental. You know what I mean? So what I've made a promise to myself is I'm not gonna talk on this shit no more. You know what I mean? If I live by action, so how I live is the best speech.
Yeah,
So, but I'm gonna tell you, I definitely feel that all these platforms is definitely governmental. They're definitely connected to the government, and they definitely are assimilating information, just like the Bloomberg computer assimilates business information. They're doing it with social media.
got you. Yeah, I've had a similar situation on Facebook when I try to post some of my blog content. It seems to give me issues on certain topics. Yeah, so I definitely have had that happen to me as well. And I get all type of people trying to follow me all the time, but I have my page public. So, I have a private page. That one I don't share with everybody, but my public page, I definitely see some weird requests as well. And I mean, but that's gonna
That's
happen.
that's the people's. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. Like one of my shits, man. I deleted it, but it said how long peace, brother. Did you just become a convert? I'm like, whoa. Um, I said,
Convert.
okay, this is some radical person acting like they're a radical person and thinking that I'm radical. I'm not radical, man. I just speak my mind, and that's it. I'm not trying to start World War III or nothing like that. I'm not anti-government. I'm just anti-oppression, and
Yeah,
I'm pro pro progression.
yeah. I feel that. I feel that. And you're an entrepreneur, pushing the boundaries of things. And
Always.
since we and you are friends and we've known each other for quite some time, I know that you're an avid reader. And
That's a fact.
I like to present this question to most of my guests. What are 3 books that you would recommend for someone to read who wants to become an entrepreneur?
Mm. I will never answer this. No, this is the only reason why I can answer this the way I'm going to answer it is because it's happening right now. Um, Make sure you'll read my book. This is the first time it's going to be. I'm putting this out there. Well, make sure you read my book, A Message to the Bag Man. Um, that's going to be the first book y'all need to read, man, about entrepreneurship. A Message to the Bag Man. Outside of that book, which I hope to have done by this year, out and published by this year.
Okay.
I would say another good book that deals with business is this I deal with is I read a Howard Stern book. I forgot the name of the Howard Stern book, but it was dealing with radio. And if you study, if you're trying to do podcasting and you're trying to go that entrepreneurial way through podcasting, I think that Howard Stern's book, I forgot the name of a book. He's dressed as a lady or a bitch on a cover, but it's a great book.
Yeah.
Um, another book, another book that I would say is business wise, uh, anything on marketing. Anything on marketing. I got a good book. I forgot the name of it. It's a small book, but anything in marketing is best because you can have a product, but if you don't know how to get the product seen by other people, and you're never going to sell the product. So marketing is, I think, one of the most important tools of entrepreneurship. If you don't understand marketing, then you're going to be like Africa. And what I mean by that is they have a whole lot of heroin, but nobody gonna buy it because they can't afford it. You know what I mean? Is you got to know where to market to sell something. And so any marketing book I think will be a great book.
Yeah. They say marketing is king.
That's a fact. That's a
It,
fact.
you could have all the product in the world in terms of like clothing, podcasting, anything. But if you're not marketing it correctly, then it's just gonna sit on the shelves.
That's a fact. So I think any marketing book is important to read. I also like Black Enterprise periodicals. So if you read the magazines, Black Enterprise is a good one, and Business Weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
on those like 10 years ago, heavy, like every month type of thing. I was in prison though, but
yeah.
I was on those real heavy. Those taught me a lot.
Yeah, print media is pretty much dead now, but you can still follow them on online. They have online websites. I watch Black Enterprise. I check that out periodically as well. And I like Business Insider. That one,
There's another one called The Economist. It
okay.
looked like, yeah, it's called The Economist. If you ever get that magazine, that usually be in the newsstands a lot. The Economist. That's a dope one too, man. I fuck with that one too.
Now
Yo,
outside
you
of
gotta study business, man. If you really trying to do business, you gotta study it, man.
as far as studying business, who are some of the business men or women that you admire or emulate?
Mm. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to like all the big name people, but since I know them dudes is devils, I'm not gonna name them because those was the ones that I was looking at. But I noticed that those are probably the devils behind a lot of this shit that's going on. So I'm not gonna name. I don't know. I'm gonna go to I think one of the best entrepreneurs slash movie people is Tyler Perry, man.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry is a mastermind. He took incubated plays through small black theater and evolved and changed that into owning his own film studio. Like they got the whole land of studios now where you could film on Tyler Perry Studios. So to go from doing plays to now owning that, that's one of the people that I'm inspired by. I'm also inspired by the Shark Damon from Fubu.
Mhm.
I went to one of his seminars also. He inspires me. I think that the fact that he comes from Queens, he didn't have a lot, and his grind is very similar. That I think that mine is similar to his. And I also like Jay-Z, man. I think that Jay-Z, the reason why Jay-Z is kind of somebody that really inspires me is because I met him before all this stuff. There's ties between us, and I seen him. You know what I mean? So to see a person like a lot of people that we admire, we never seen in real person. We don't even know if they really exist. It could be an illusion. If media could be an illusion, you know. So you don't even know this person exists or not. So the fact that I seen him on Graham Avenue driving the Green joint, or when he was with Jazzo, my uncle introduced me to him. You know, I used to be in his building, that particular building where Bleak lived in. My man is Bleak brother, Everlast. You know, I've been around, not his personal circle, but I've been around. So to see that he came from my neighborhood and became who he is, I know that it's possible.
Yeah, Jay-Z's evolution is pretty incredible. Starting from the streets to a highly successful businessman, one of the most successful businessmen in the world at this time.
That's a fact.
Jay-Z.
Of our time too.
Yeah, of our time. That's definitely a fact. Now you definitely jumped on one of my questions ahead of time, which was, do you ever plan to write a book?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, man. I wasn't putting it out before. I was keeping it hidden. I don't, I didn't want to jinx my shit, but I'm just so confident in my shit now that I'm ready to, I'm ready to go into my mode now. So my book name is A Message to the Bag Man. It's a play on Elijah Muhammad's book, A Message to the Black Man, which is a very famous book by Elijah Muhammad. It's a play on that. So he taught in his book, the black man and how to deal with society, and I'm also going to be the black man and how to deal with finance. You know what I mean? It's not even a black man because it's not. They don't say black. It's the bag man, so it could be any race, but it is definitely the play on the other book is kind of, if you know A Message to the Black Man, then when I say A Message to the Bag Man, it kind of, So for my people that it resonates that way, I'm going that way, and it's just going to be on some I'm going to give you business 101. I went to business school and stuff like that in my life. I'm going to give you business 101, but broken down so into baby food that there's no way you're gonna miss the points. All my examples is real. Like I talk about selling drugs. I talk about the nigga who sells health insurance, the person who sells cell phones in the street. That's guerrilla marketing if you didn't know. Like I use real life examples. I did something called the Vandal Subway Museum. That's another form of guerrilla marketing. You know what I mean? So I give you these real examples of how to do what we do without going through the mistakes. I'm gonna be honest. I don't believe nobody book who deals with small business and entrepreneurship is gonna fuck with mine, because I went to business school, you know what I mean? And I live street business also. So it's going to be so original and so it's going to be given to you so ill. You're going to be laughing while you're learning these business principles, because you're going to be like, oh shit, that is that. Let me give an example. when the crackhead got to try the drugs to make sure, like when you go in the cop some heavyweight and you got the crackhead who tries the drugs, that's research and development, baby.
Yeah, that is research and development.
You know what I mean? I'm just taking it. I could get ill with this one, but I think my book is going to change the world, at least the world for the poor person. The poor person is going to know what they know, and maybe even better.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're approaching that 40-minute limit with Zoom. So, I wanted to get one last question in which is pretty much give you an opportunity to, have any last comments to our listeners, anything you want to leave them with.
I'm gonna say this, man, and I wrote this on Instagram a couple of days ago, but I think that I really live by it, man. If you can't sleep with failure, you're never gonna fuck with that bitch success, man. You're never gonna fuck with that bitch success. If you can't sleep with failure, you'll never be able to fuck with that bitch success, man. And that's the reality. And what that mean is, success and failure is the same coin. There's two sides of it, man. How you deal with failure is going to be how you deal with success. If you can't deal with failure, you can't deal with success. If you don't understand failure, you don't understand success. If failure fucks with you, success is going to fuck with you too.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely do, man. Well, I want to take this time out to thank you for joining us tonight. I want to tell our listeners to make sure to take some time and visit www.sstreetmedia.info
And .net.
Or they could visit the .net.
Both.
And they can check out all the content that Mathematics and his team has available on their site. So once again,
I appreciate you for having me on the show. You heard?
Anytime, bro. Anytime, man. So you have a good night, and I hit you as soon as this whole episode is edited and put up.